evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday Night Delight, and Happy New Year to you and yours from all of us, conspicuous by their absence, but I will explain that shortly. It's the Third and Long podcast. I am, of course, Nutriliga's most famous export since Darty Blake, Shane Harris. And look who I've got! I've got my beloved baby home. How are you, boy? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. Happy New Year to you and all our viewers, Shane.
Happy New Year, bud. Happy New Year. As we said, our intrepid globe-trotting reporter, Mr. OBH, is probably in Boston right now.
Yeah, I believe he's in an Uber. I've got a little video from him to put on later in the show, but
that'll be interesting. And conspicuous by his absence, Mr. P.
So conspicuous, he's just turned up.
What time did we call this?
Well, gentlemen, well. I have to apologise because despite starting back at my new old school, same old unreliable laptop, and it wouldn't let me get onto our StreamYard page. So you're going to have to forgive me for a little second whilst I just quickly sort my life out. But can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfectly fine, loud and clear. What's that on your head, Phil?
What? My hair?
Yes, a bit wild and unruly. The girls love that.
I haven't long had a shower, so I've washed out all the hairspray and the wax. Because normally it's like literally, I mean, you've seen me, like it's literally just all. Like
it's proper long. It's proper Third and Long after dark kind of thing. I get you.
Oh yeah.
And we've got a comment from Shannon Davis saying hiya. So hello, Shannon.
Hello, Miss Davis. How are you?
Yeah, what's happening there, boys? So what do we all do for New Year then? What do we all do for New Year?
I played PlayStation.
What a time, boys! Jesus Christ! Look on there.
I just watch American football.
On New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
What I do? Cans and Xbox. It's a quiet one in our house. We don't do a lot. I think Laura was asleep by 12 o'clock. What do you do, Mr. P? Come on.
So I went around like a friend's house and we played video games. We had some pulled pork sandwiches. We got me and a really good friend of mine, Mr. Gatley, science teacher. We drank a few bottles of red wine because I'm a classy drinker.
You're a classy bird.
I'm a classy guy. And and you know what? I actually called it a night before we even hit midnight. Like I was like, once it got to 10 o'clock, I was like going, you know what, peace. So I went home and in my bedroom I've got like a massive 15-foot.
Yeah, for now. Okay.
I have a big projector. So I just got into bed and I like Chromecasted like the Mayor of London's stupid firework display. And I just watched it on the big wall in my bedroom. I mean, Shane, you'll see when you come and stop at mine in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. No worries.
So that's that. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to quickly change to my big screen instead of me holding my laptop like a flying saucer. Give me a sec.
Like an amateur. Hurry up, boy.
I mean, it was a pretty good Sunday for Niners and Ravens fans, was it not?
Oh, what an amazing Sunday it was. We will come on to these later games in due course, but honestly, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to say it. We are the best team in football now, and against the Dolphins, I expected a test. What test?
Yeah, I don't want to face you in the Super Bowl.
Unreal, absolutely unreal. When Mr. P decides to return, where do you want to start, my old buddy?
I think we should start with the early games.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously, the Niners game was the one I watched, and it was a sort of game where, like, you know, where you never feel like you're going to lose, but you don't feel like you're playing your best.
Yeah.
It was just that, like, the Niners were always just out of reach of the Commanders until towards the end when they pulled away.
Yeah, you find when you're playing teams like the lower echelons of the NFL, your likes of your Commanders, your Panthers, your Pats then, because OBH isn't here, I can freely say that. Yeah, you know you're going to win. It's just a case of by how much. You know, you're never in any real danger.
So it finished 27-10.
Yeah.
And the Niners really never looked in doubt. I don't want to spend too much time on the the Ravens game because I want to have a conversation about the Cowboys Lions, but I want to mainly focus on looking forward to next week.
Oh, I'm not going to wax lyrical about the best team in football. I'm just going to sort of be subtle and just say I was watching the game with Laura because she's become quite a fan since London. And she seems to know a lot more, and she's impressing me more and more with her NFL knowledge every game we watch. Sometimes you come out with things before I come out with them. And when the Dolphins scored the first touchdown, I was like, oh, here we go. I've seen this team fall apart before. I've seen us fall apart against very good opposition and very bad opposition as well. But she's like, why are you panicking? Why are you panicking? We're going to win. Why are you panicking? And then lo and behold, LJ put up a clinic. Isaiah Likely looks like an absolute stud, a fantastic replacement for Mark Andrews. Zay Flowers is him. Honest to God, you just fall in love with a player. You just think, oh my God, he's class.
Yes.
Yeah. And especially a rookie, it's always hard to come into the league and hit the ground running, and he has. It took him a while, but he's there. Even Tyler Huntley threw for a touchdown. Charlie Kolar scored a touchdown. It was incredible, and I knew we'd beat him when Mike McDaniels took Tua out the game. And I was like, that's the NFL sign for white flag, we surrender.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it was amazing, but it was amazing. So do we know when... Oh, go on, you're right. He's back now, look.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, can't see you, though.
Yeah, give me 1 second because I'm just changing to my camera, and lo and behold, I have a person. How are we? So it's an unusual night because I haven't put on a jersey yet, but I am wearing. You can't see; it's too dark in here. I'm wearing a Queen t-shirt, but if you want, I can literally just take my top off and just quickly put a 49ers top on, should you wish. For any of the,
I'm not going to object. As I said, this is where people come to view. This is why they do the show. This is why they chuck the money at us because they want to see, things like that.
Well, I thought like when we eventually go on Patreon and start having different tiers to our fandom, that might be like one thing that we might offer, like one of the tier 2 or the tier 3s that we do a topless, just a topless show. No, like maybe once every 2 weeks, something like that.
I was going to say, nobody wants to see what's under this. Trust me.
Oh, I do, mate. I do. Like.
You're so sweet.
My little sexy tattoos, or a bit of Sean Connery hairy chest,
Oh, see, there's no OBHW that's back in this week now. The lunatics run the asylum once again.
That's very true. That's very true. And I'm really sorry because I've just come back to school. It's hit me really, really hard, really, really fast. I don't know whether or not you guys managed to put the picture up on socials of.
I thought you were doing it.
I know, but like again, I've literally from like 7 o'clock this morning until when I left at 5:30. I have not even looked at my phone. Like my phone was on my.
We know you haven't looked at your phone. I'm fully aware. Trust me. As I said, there's an adventure called a phone, and it's used for communication. You can talk to someone the length and breadth of the country. So yeah, if you wanted to drop me, your good old buddy, a little message to say, do me a favor, stick that NWO photo fit of us up. I would have said, my pleasure, Mr. Perrins. If you didn't,
I know, because I'm an absolute arse. All right, so what we've talked about so far, gents, what have I missed? The 49ers still being the best team in pro football?
I think Shane has something to say about that.
We touched on it briefly. I touched on the Ravens briefly. But like I said, when all these not good, there's no order.
Yeah, I was just Topi?
I was just about to suggest that we moved on to the Lions-Cowboys game.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the controversy that was there. Do you want to take the lead on this one, Phil? Because I know you know what happened a lot more than I do.
Yes, yeah. So, upon reflection, shall I describe the kick and boot of the whole essence? I mean, if you listen to the pod, I'm assuming that you saw what went down on. Was it Saturday that they played? It was Saturday.
It was a Saturday night.
The
I,
Saturday night game.
I turned off at half time, so I missed it.
See, Dan Campbell, when he's got an idea for something, he is very, very unflexible. So the Cowboy, it was a very sloppy game because I went back and watched the highlights again this morning when I was just having my breakfast. It was a very sloppy game. It wasn't a team, well, it didn't feel like a contest between two teams that are going to be in the postseason in a couple of weeks. Jared Goff had flashes of looking amazing, but also quite spotty. Dak looked very average for what I expect Dak to be. But basically, it got to a situation where the Cowboys were winning, but like the final drive of the game, the Lions drove the ball down the field. They scored their touchdown, and instead of kicking for the extra field goal, which would have tied the game, they went for a 2-point conversion. This goes really, 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 really left field because I played as a tight end, so I was always eligible because that was my position. Then when I moved to defensive end and defensive tackle, it wasn't really a thing unless I got the ball for interception or I fumbled and I carried it, so on and so forth. So I've never been in that situation per se. But what happened is that there was a designed trick play that the Lions had been practicing and were going to implement. And what occurred is one of the linemen went up to the referee and designated himself as eligible. So it gets around this idea of illegal formation. So this one player said to the referee, I am eligible to be a receiver through this play. The referee looked at it. I think it's Brad. I need to say Brad Armstrong, but he's a WWE wrestler.
Brad
Allen. We move on to Brad Allen in a bit.
Brad Allen looked at him, acknowledged him, and then called on the speaker the wrong play. He said the wrong number to declare that he's eligible. But it was picked up via the field microphones that he declared, and the referee acknowledged him. The play went off a hitch. The lineman who declared himself eligible caught the ball. Boom, 2 points. The Lions should have won. Oh, but wait. The referees massively messed up to the point where you can't even look at it as incompetence. It's more borderlining on corruption now than incompetence. Because, again, if you're seen to be, acknowledging that this is going to be a trick play, I'm, designating myself as eligible. And then when that player does exactly what he said he's going to do, you call a flag against him. The plot thickens again because after the game, Dan Campbell said on his podium in the presser that he went to the referees before the game and said, this is the play that I am going to call. And he said every single player on his team knew exactly what they're going to do. And him and his offensive coordinator went to the referees and told them, this is exactly what I'm going to do when I call it. Not if, when. And apparently the referees agreed that it was a legal play. It was a legal formation. Dan Campbell executes it. The referees flow a flag and it costs the Lions the game. But this is where I get very, very anti-situation because, yes, the referees massively messed up on this play, cost the Lions the 2 points, which would have made them victors of the game. But the flag was called and the Lions had another go at doing it. The Lions failed on that, but another flag was thrown, which meant that the Lions had 3 opportunities for this 2-point conversion. Now, first one flagged, second one flagged. You think by like your third attempt at this, you would just go, it's not going to happen. I'm going to kick a field goal. I'm going to tie the game, go into overtime. Dan Campbell goes for another trick play, his third trick play in a row, and he fails. And the Lions go on to lose the game. So even though we're focusing on an incredibly bad, corrupt call, I'm just going to say it as it is, a corrupt call, the Lions still had an opportunity to just go, sod it, screw it, field goal, let's take them in overtime, because they have the momentum, and the NFL is all about momentum. It's not necessarily about who has the best players, it's about who has the most momentum going into that exchange, that play, that tackle. It's how it is. I think that if they would have kicked for a field goal, take it into overtime, I think the Lions would have probably gone on to win if I'm playing devil advocate. It's not me being anti-Dallas, pro-San Francisco. But it was just such a messy play. The NFL came out and said that Brad Allen and his team will not be officiating during the postseason. And now it's come out recently that they actually will be now.
They are playing. They are reffing again, Philip.
Yeah, no, but like the NFL came out and said that they weren't, and then less than 48 hours later, Goodell comes out and says that they are. And I don't know whether or not you caught this as well, because I'm always interested in any sound bites that Roger Goodell throws out there to the public and the press when anything like this happens, where he basically says he believes, and I don't know whether this is him towing the line or his own delusion, he believes that officiating this season has been the best that it's been in years. He came out and said it since this incident. Okay, it's a mess. It's not looking great. The Lions are rightfully, angry at the situation. Again, it's not just our Premier League football with VAR where the problem actually is officiating as opposed to the equipment that's there to help them. The same situation is happening in the NFL, where every bit of help that the referees have is there, but they keep actively making these mistakes. Rant over, but that's my analysis of the game.
Just quickly, I understand that Brad Allen and his crew had been stood down for the playoffs, not necessarily Week 18. And from what I understand, they're not refereeing in the playoffs, but they are refereeing the Ravens-Steelers game this weekend.
Indeed, they are refereeing the Ravens Steelers game this weekend. It's a good job. It means nothing to us because obviously number 1 seed and Kings of the North once again. But nah, they shouldn't ref at all this season. They should not ref at all this season.
It's fine. You'll have your JV squad out.
Yeah, but still, as I said, to me, this game is as important as Liverpool Man United. It's a huge rivalry game, no matter what's at stake. I love smashing that team. I want to stick their towel up there. Yeah, okay. But as I said, I digress. People say this is a nothing game. The Steelers could even qualify for the playoffs with a loss, which makes me conflicted.
It's a tad more important than the Niners-Rams game, but only a tad.
I don't think the thing is, and when we talk about the weekend ahead anyway, when we talk about San Francisco, the fact that San Francisco are going to bench more or less all their starters. Brock Purdy's been ruled out completely. He will not be having any snaps at all this weekend. Christian McCaffrey is going to be rested. If Kyle Shanahan has any sense, he'll rest Trent Williams and give him 2 weeks off so that he's primed for every play in the playoffs. But I think there's more on the line for the Steelers and the Ravens game. If I'm being subjective, even if we lose to the Rams, it's not going to mean anything. Like, genuinely, and I know it's that stigma of, you don't want to lose your last game before you go into the playoffs. Yeah, but not to sound arrogant, but we're really good. We're really good.
Yeah, we are good.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just going to say we are good, but I also don't want to face the Ravens in the playoffs.
I think if we get Hargrave and Armstead back fit, that will stop the run game, because the Ravens have an amazing run game. Yes, Zay Flowers has been exceptional this season, but so has Travarius Ward. And what killed us in the Ravens game was stopping the run, because we didn't, because they were literally moonwalking through both defensive tackles. And so I think when they're back fit and playing, that's when we'll see the 49ers at their strongest, and also the Ravens. Isn't that what we want from the Super Bowl? The two best teams who are 100% fully fit. Brock Purdy versus Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. That is Montana Marino-esque. If I'm being subjective, that is Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. That is Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger.
Can I do a comparison? It is Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. It is WrestleMania 12. It's the two biggest teams, two biggest stars.
I'll do you one better, mate. It's Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. WrestleMania 17.
I knew that was coming. I'm a Bret Mark. What can I say?
Anyway, moving back to NFL.
He's taking us back in again.
Moving back to NFL. Did you know that Lawrence Taylor wrestled in the main event of WrestleMania 11?
I was thinking we could move on to the Rams Giants game, and let our globe-trotting reporter take that one.
Oh yes!
Good evening, gentlemen, and nice to see you all. Carrying on as per usual without me. Obviously, we're in New York, we're actually in Boston, we were in New York. Over New Year's, we went to the Rams versus the Giants game, which was a good to get out to MetLife, good to see the stadium, which is a really impressive stadium. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. Sounds a bit stupid, the tops was is incredibly tall, when you go to some other place that you're coming halfway up. But these ones are literally from the ground, it was all the way up. Really good. Met Sean O'Hare out there, got his autograph, got the flag signed and all that as well. It was really interesting. Having a quick chat to him. The game itself was a good game. Rams dominated it for the majority of the first half, just kept the Giants in it with silly mistakes, like a couple of turnovers from Matty Stafford, which kept them going, kept them in it. But the Giants are the problem to themselves. They don't make the yardage. They're not getting to the first downs. They're not doing anything to prove themselves to be any higher than the top 8 pick. I think they're 6th at the moment. The second half, it was completely different. There was a really good punt return by Gunnar Olszewski for 84 yards. He got there. It was somehow he managed to stay on his feet. I don't know how. Still don't know how he did that. It was brilliant. Ran it in, and it seemed to lift the stadium. The stadium, the noise up. Really good. And he kept going. They kept, and it gave the team belief. Gave the Giants belief to get into it out there. And you've got these rookies in LA, the Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams, both made the Pro Bowl selections, and deservedly why. Puka Nacua somehow he managed to spin out of a tackle and literally tiptoed down the sideline for like 80-odd yards. Was caught literally within the 5. And Kyron Williams, he can just run. He through the holes, through the line in the O-line, or he can bounce out wide and go around. He's electric, and he's something really good to look forward to. Popped up to Foxborough yesterday, went up the lighthouse. That's really impressive. It's so amazing up there. The views out there, looking down the stadium, having a chat to the guys up there for about 80-odd minutes. It felt like that. And it was really nice out there. The Hall of Fame was brilliant, really insightful. Great to see all that, see all the old stuff. Go through all the history and all that. Try some of the old helmets on with the old gear on. Yes, there is a photo of me somewhere in Julian Edelman's kit. But yeah, it's really good. Been around back in Boston. It's nice to be back here. Love this city, we do. Absolutely love it. I will see you guys back on Monday, and I look forward to see your smiling faces. Until then, stay safe.
Can I just add? So you can literally sneeze for like the whole 2-minute video, Shano, and you just wait until.
No, I mean,
two things with that video. Thing one, when our illustrious head honcho messaged us yesterday, and he said that he met Sean O'Hare, me and Shane literally popped and went, "The wrestler."
He's dead 10 years.
Sean, I'm pretty sure Sean O'Hare died 10 years ago, and like Ollie obviously has no idea what we're talking about. Like me and Shane were already there, and I know he's really enjoying himself, and I love you to bit, Hendo. But like there was one part in that video where he's like talking about it, and he goes, "Yeah, it was really interesting," and I went,
Is it?
Yeah, like did we all get those vibes as well? Like I know he's enjoying himself.
I know exactly the same. It's like someone sitting doing the lecture still.
Yeah, you butt. Yeah. So he was just, really interesting. I got to try on Julian Edelman's kit. There's a picture out there somewhere, maybe, I don't know.
Probably might be.
I really hope he listens to this on the flight back as well. He's just going to download and go, "Oh, I wonder what the guys are going to say about my reporting," and like he just sits there and he starts crying.
I love you, OBHP. I love you, OBHP. You can put a glass eye to sleep.
I love you, mate. I love you all. Right then, so that's him talking about the Rams and the Giants game. I actually thought the game was better than I thought it would be. They had flashes of going like Trevor Seaman, going like, "Oh my god, he's really great," and then there was flashes of him going, "I can see why the Bills got rid of you."
Have you seen what Ollie just put in the chat?
Yeah, we can't do it yet. It's not before. It's before 9 o'clock. We can't say it. You can bleep it out if you want.
So let me have a look. Let me go.
What we
Love you all, man.
Beep off cheeky Fs. I've got an effing head cold.
Oh, it's all right. I know everybody got natural charisma like me and Mr. P.
He could have just given us a smile, and that would have lit up the whole chat.
That's quite correct.
Yeah. Trevor Seaman, obviously showing
Simeon.
good and bad. Well, he definitely left something.
Oh,
And then-
you're talking about the wrong New York team.
yeah, that's what I thought.
and
Tyrod.
and then Stat Padford. Is it Tyrod? Oh, never mind. It was Robert.
Tyrod, aye.
Oh, he's the one that played for the Bills. You can see why the Bills got rid of him. And Stat Padford literally doing some great things and some really, really kind of like it's a Matt Stafford kind of thing. The Rams are working towards having a young, viable team that they won their Super Bowl, they went big, and then obviously the bust that comes after where they have to move on all their high contracts because of the wage cap. So they're having to bring in young, cheaper players, but creating that culture. I'm not comparing them whatsoever, but it kind of feels over in LA that Sean McVay is doing the same thing that Jimmy Johnson did in the early 90s with the Dallas Cowboys, where the big names had their purpose, but they let the organization down, bring in the young blood, bring new people into the situation. And then that created, that 3 championship dynasty that the Cowboys still pipe on about now. But I thought the Giants were unlucky because it literally went down to the wire. But I hate the Rams.
Just quickly, Phil, we got a question here from John Hammond saying, "What do you guys think about Sam Darnold starting this week?"
I thought that the picture that the 49ers used to announce this made Sam Darnold look like an AI-generated figure because it did not look like it was actually him whatsoever. This is Sam. I'm pretty sure Darnold only signed on for 1 season, baby. Am I right?
Correct.
So this is Darnold's realistically his only opportunity to show where he goes next. We've talked about this before with Zach Wilson. I hate it when quarterbacks do this, putting in the effort to make other teams go, oh, Zach Wilson's going to be available.
It's a shopping nugget.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the last game of the season. It means nothing to the 49ers. We're the number 1 seed. We're going to get a bye. Brock Purdy's going to come back. Sam Darnold could literally throw 10 touchdowns and throw for 600 yards. He's not going to play a game. He's not going to start in the playoffs. He's not. So this is Darnold's opportunity to either entice the 49ers to give him another, give him an extension, keep him on the roster as Brock Purdy's backup, or this is going to be an opportunity for other teams to go, oh, Sam Darnold, serviceable. He could be an upgrade from Mitch Trubisky. He could be, Jacoby Brissett. He could. You look at a lot of the other backups that are in the league. Not everyone is.
Phil, I do have a question. Sorry to interrupt. I do have a question. Would he be looked at favorably in Indianapolis as a backup to Anthony Richardson?
But he won't be a backup. Well, oh yeah, he would. He'd be the backup to the backup, won't he?
Of course he would.
Because Minshew would start, Richardson will sit, Darnold will be third. That's literally how that's going to happen. It's I can see the vein. I can see the vein in his forehead pop.
Are you guys done talking about not answering the question, or
right? What do I think about it? I think this is a great opportunity for Sam Darnold to prove that he is still a serviceable quarterback in the NFL. He is not going to be amazing. He's not going to be Brady crossed with Manning, crossed with Montana. He's not, but he can be serviceable. And I think this is his opportunity to show other teams, the other 31 teams, that he could probably do the job or back up somewhere else. That's just my opinion. He's not going to be starting unless another organization's quarterback drastically used out for the season.
So for me, one criticism of Purdy that a lot of people say, they say that any quarterback could play the quarterback in Kyle Shanahan's situation in scheme. We're going to find out this week if that's true or not.
Well, Darnold threw a touchdown against the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, he also
so it's entirely possible for anyone to step into the breach, so to speak. I said, like we always say, and we need to stop joking about this, Phil. We need to be really serious about this, right? I think Shanahan starting Darnold is a good idea because obviously this weekend now, with a lot of teams that have qualified for the playoffs, can rest their starters. Lamar's not starting. They're going to be wrapping their starters in cotton wool ready for the playoffs. I genuinely think, right? This is a shoot, brother. I genuinely think that if Indy wanted to trade with the Niners, and you could have a good 1-2 punch with Minshew and Purdy, and Sam Darnold could go to Indy and back up Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Paul?
I don't want Minshew at the Niners.
What do you mean? Whoa.
That is such. All right. So Minshew. All right. I'm going to be really honest with you now, baby. Really.
Got it.
You know that me and Shane genuinely love Gardner Minshew II. I think he's a really good quarterback. I thought he was massively shafted in Jacksonville. Because think about it now, with Trevor Lawrence not being great, Minshew, I know he's 2 years removed, but he could probably do a job right now if they needed to rest Trevor Lawrence.
He do a job with 75% of the teams. You all know that.
No, he was serviceable as second string last year with the Eagles. He won an NFC championship as a backup, but that's always going to be on his resume. He's won an NFC, and he's been a part of a team that got to a Super Bowl. He has gone into a situation in Indianapolis where he knew under no circumstance that he was going to be the backup. Richardson had a great start to the season, but he went down like glass. Minshew has come back in, and this is a young team with a new coach, and he's gone in and he's carried them to a very surprising playoff berth potentially. What I don't think would work with someone like Minshew coming to San Francisco next season is Minshew is on the peripheral of almost becoming Tebow Kaepernick-esque, i.e. not about quality as a player, but the publicity that it brings. Because remember, when Tebow was dropped in Denver and he was bouncing around other organizations, like when he went to New York and he did a little bit in New England, people were constantly hounding Bill Belichick and whoever was the Jets coach at the time, that when you're going to start Tebow? Well, Tebow's our backup. Yeah, but when you're going to start? And it becomes about Tebow as opposed to Tebow playing for them. San Francisco is a huge media market. It's huge. California is massive. So we think about, the buzz that Minshew was getting in little old Indianapolis, and when he was getting all the attention back in Jacksonville, Florida. San Francisco is different gravy. It's a massive, massive media market. So as great as Brock Purdy is, and he is rightfully so with all the Pro Bowl voting, if he makes one mistake, like a pick, you've got like another quarterback controversy. It's that age old of, San Francisco, there's always a quarterback controversy. And in my lifetime, there's been quarterback controversies. And we don't really need that at the moment. So as much as I love Minshew, and I would love him in a heartbeat, if I'm being subjective, I'm going to just look at the situation. I don't think Minshew works as long as Purdy is as good as he is.
You disgust me.
Well, I'm just saying. If I'm being honest, I would love him on my team, but I have to think about what he brings because he's such an overpowering presence. And I mean this in the nicest way possible because I feel quite kindred to him sometimes. But Brock Purdy, and this is the one thing people say in the locker room about Brock Purdy, he's confident, he's meticulous, and he's calm. You never see him panic. And I think that's why Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey, his teammates love him because he's cold as ice. Like we talk about like Cool Joe Montana or Cool Joe Burrow. Brock Purdy is ridiculously calm under pressure. You never see him flap. When he throws an interception, boom, it's done. Get it over with. Next time I get the ball, I'm going to score. And more often than not, he has, with the Ravens game being an exception. So that's just my opinion. I love Minshew, but I think Brock brings a calmness that San Francisco thrive off. And I don't think the same momentum would work well with the team that we currently have.
So
from now on, one word answers for you.
John Madden.
I thought that's what you loved about me in terms of my in-depth, passionate analysis. I'm Shannon.
I do, but everyone's got 2 hours to spare every week.
Well, let me tell you something, Shane. Go on.
So John Madden once said, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
Ooh.
Yeah. But Hall of Fame, Super Bowl winning Bill Walsh had Montana and Young on the same team and was rotating them, and we still won the Super Bowl in '88.
Yeah, but that's an anomaly with two Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Gardner Minshew is not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
I will take that to my grave. Yes, he is.
But this is Steve Young pre-greatness. Like, if you watch early Steve Young, he is brilliant, but like he failed as often as he succeeded. While Joe Montana at that point was already Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame guaranteed. Steve Young, this was before Steve Young went on to become the great Steve Young that I have an insane amount of jerseys with his name on the back. So, which camp do we sit in? The Bill Walsh, Hall of Fame, three-time Super Bowl winning coach, or John Madden, Super Bowl winning Hall of Fame coach? They're both right. It just depends on the mentality of the team. I agree with both statements. But it depends on what you want your culture to be. The Raiders under him were ruthless arseholes. Okay, I talk about it a lot between us, whilst the 49ers were finesse.
Speaking of the best thing to happen to Indiana since Reggie Miller, can we talk about the Colts and Raiders game?
Yeah, but this is the last one before we move on.
Okay.
Sorry, baby, I've had a 5-lesson day. I've been.
Legacy's back to work now. What?
And I look at this gentleman. Like, oh God, oh I'm so tired. Oh, I haven't been at work today. Oh.
No, I'm just conscious that we've been talking for 36 minutes and we've still got the Pro Bowl and this week's games to talk about.
We said nothing at all of any consequence.
This
is
what happens when Hendo's not on.
Yeah, I know. He's Law and Order around here.
Shane, you're the only one that's seen this game, so you need to talk about it if you want to talk about it.
Oh, with great pleasure. I will happily wax lyrical about the Indianapolis icon, Gardner Minshew. So, yes, the Colts beat the Raiders 23 points to 20 in Lucas Oil on Sunday night. Philip was torn between the two teams. He wasn't a very happy man. I did speak to him briefly on Sunday, and between snivelling and wiping away his black and silver tears, he could just about see Minshew choke another one up for the bad guys. Yeah, so follow a bit of coffee before I come on, Connor. So yeah, Aiden O'Connell, he might have the worst teenage mustache this side of myself, even though I'm 38 years old. He went 30 for 47, 299 yards, and two touchdowns. And they were both probably the most wasted wide receiver in the NFL, Devontae Adams. Sorry, John, but it's true. And Minshew went 15 for 23 with 224 yards, touchdown. Jonathan Taylor running for one, which is always nice to see Jonathan Taylor in because Zach Moss was out. Alec Pierce as well scored with a fantastic bomb from Minshew. Yeah, it was a game that we always knew it'd be a bit of a contest, bit of a shootout. Even though Aiden O'Connell's not very experienced, the Raiders do have a good team around him, the likes of the aforementioned Devontae Adams and the Jacoby Myers. He's a very good wide receiver as well. And Phil's little icon, Phil's little man crush, Max Crosby himself, didn't have a bad game either. I mean, it's not really possible for him to have a bad game. He is that damn good. He went 3 for 3 with tackles. Yeah, he was fantastic. So, yeah, just to briefly sum it up, Indianapolis 23, Raiders 20 points.
The only play I've seen of these is the failed onside kick from the Raiders at the end, so I can't really say anything about it, if I'm honest.
Like I said, we lack order and structure this week, so you people are going to make do, haven't they? We just got to say what we can. And then moving on.
Yeah, should we move on to the Pro Bowl?
Yes! Do you want to mention some snubs?
I think we should probably go through the actual rosters first.
Okay, yep, go for it.
So I've got the NFCs here. The quarterbacks, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, and somehow Stat Padford.
How has Stat Padford been selected by the Pro? Again, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Obviously,
Top
the
right
running
hand.
CMC, DeAndre Swift, and Karen Williams are the running backs. Juice is the fullback, of course, for the 8th year in a row. The
That's
wide
because there's
receivers.
a fullback in the NFC.
The wide receivers: CeeDee Lamb, who's had a great season, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Puka Nacua. How about Nauk isn't there? I don't know.
Good for Puka Nacua. Good for Puka Nacua.
Tight ends are George Kittle and Sam Laporta.
How was Kittle? I don't know.
Another rookie. The tackles: Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, who full starts like every play. Penei Sewell and Zach Martin, obviously, and Chris Lindstrom, who is a great tackle, by the way, for the Falcons, and Landon Dixon from the Eagles, who also full starts a lot. Of course, Jason Kelsey's the starter for the Eagles, the center, and Frank Ragnow. So, you guys have anything to say about the offense?
Puka Nacua has had a really good season, but I actually think it's quite insulting that Brandon Ayuk has not been selected. I know we weren't going to talk about the subs just yet, but like I'm not sounding. The 49ers have like 9 people selected for the Pro Bowl, but
10 alternates too.
Oh, okay. But Ayuk should have been selected. Nakua's had a really good season. I can't really argue with most of the offensive weapons. I think if we'll be honest, like the full starters on the Eagles, I don't rate the Eagles' offensive line. Like I don't. I've seen it. I've watched us dominate it. But Sam Howell ? I don't think he's been that good.
Who?
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell.
Sam Howell's not in there.
I thought you said
You
Sam
said Sam
Howell.
Howell.
You said Sam Howell.
You did.
Yeah, the quarterbacks are Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, and Pat Stafford.
You said Sam Howell.
Howell.
You literally said Sam Howell.
Well, Sam Howell's not there, so.
Yeah, but
So
you
even said Sam Howell.
I don't have the list in front of me, so I couldn't correct you when you said it, but you said Sam Howell. And I went, Brock, Stafford, Sam Howell. One of these is not like the other.
Oh, boy, you never know. Jesus Christ. You're like a dog with a bone.
I must have meant Dak Prescott. Because the 3 quarterbacks are Purdy, Prescott, and Stafford.
I mean, Purdy never thought he'd be there after being drafted as Mr. Irrelevant.
So should we move on to the NFC defense?
Yes.
Okay, so defensive ends: Nick Bosa, Montez Sweat, and Aiden Hutchinson. Ironically, 2 of them were traded from the Commanders earlier this season. Inside, we've got Aaron Donald, obviously, Dexter Lawrence, and Javon Hargrave. Outside linebackers, pretty unsurprisingly, we've got Micah Parsons, who is one of the best defensive players in football. We've got Daniel Hunter, who, in my opinion, is a defensive end, and Hassan Reddick from the Philadelphia Eagles, who injured Purdy. Inside/middle linebackers, we have the incomparable Fred Warner, and we have Bobby Wagner from the Legion of Boom, Seattle Seahawks. Cornerbacks: Deron Bland, the Pick Six machine from the Cowboys, Charvarius Mooney-Ward from the San Francisco 49ers.
I love him.
Jalen Johnson from Chicago Bears, who was trying to be traded earlier this season, and Devin Witherspoon from Seattle Seahawks, who's having a great rookie season. Free safeties: Jesse Bates, absolute baller. Strong safeties: Buda Baker and Julian Love, who got the big pick. Moving on to special teams, because I managed to get these on the same postcard. Andrew DePaula from the Minnesota Vikings is the long snapper. Punter is Brian Anker from Dallas Cowboys. Kicker is Brandon Aubrey from the Dallas Cowboys. And the kick returner is Rashid Shaheed from the New Orleans Saints. And the just special teamer is Jalen Reeves-Maybin from Detroit Lions. What do you guys have to say about defense?
As you said, but the Pro Bowl popularity contest, that's all it is. I'm surprised we didn't see, bigger stars, but we haven't even mentioned the AFC yet.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to get to the AFC. We'll let you celebrate your little 7-player thing.
I will, thank you.
Shall I move on to the AFC unless Phil has something to say? But Phil
Nope.
is, of course, eating.
Is he? Was he eating this week?
Right. Before we go on to it, do you guys know what the range is? You know what the range
Was
is?
he not?
Yes.
Are you serious? Oi, we live in Bristol, not the bloody ass under nowhere.
Right, fam. So the range they sell 1 kilogram and 300 change of broken biscuits. You know what a box of broken biscuits looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I bought a box of when I went shopping yesterday. 'Cause I had to get some cat food. I literally saw a big box of broken biscuits for $3.99. Now, at that kind of price, you can't afford not to buy it. So I've got myself a nice hot chocolate and some broken biscuits. I've got a jam wheel without the jam in it. Like it's just a
What on earth?
I
So you can get a deal as spokesperson for the range now, selling broken biscuits to old people.
love it. I love it.
So Sade has come in and said hello.
Oh
So
my god. Hello,
Sade.
Sade.
Nice to see you,
So-
Sade. How are you, lad? How was your first day back in school? Not that I know these things.
Yes.
What?
So
Don't
moving
choke on your
on,
broken biscuits now, boy.
moving on to the AFC.
Yes,
The
please.
quarterbacks. Tua is the starter.
Ah!
Sitting behind him is Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes.
It's a joke.
The running backs, Raheem Mostert, James Cook, and Derrick Henry.
Can't
Yeah,
argue.
okay.
Can't
No.
argue.
Nope.
The fullback is one of the stars of Hard Knocks, Alec Ingold of the Miami Dolphins. Wide receiver, Mr. House on Fire himself, Tariq Hill.
Did you hear how the house fire started, by the way?
No, I've not seen that.
Apparently it was a child playing with a cigarette lighter.
How did the child get the cigarette lighter?
Don't know. It can happen to you, folks. Stay safe.
Anyway, the other wide receivers are Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, and Jamar Chase.
Right.
And then the tight ends, Mr. Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce,
Yes.
and Mr. Burn His Face, David Njoku.
Mr. Hope. Yeah, I'm a big
the
fan of David
tackles-
Jones.
The tackles are Mr. Penalty himself, Laramie Tunsil,
Yes.
Dion Dawkins, and Tron Armstead. And then the guards, Quentin Nelson, Joe Batonio, and Joe Tooney. The centers are Creed Humphreys, and, while I wait for it to come along the bottom,
I'll tell you who it is.
Tyler
Yeah,
Linderbaum.
rookie sensation, Tyler Linderbaum.
So you've got a lot of players in there, Shane, but I don't see many of them being starters.
I think it's disgusting how LJ's not starter. He's going to be, boys, I'm not just saying this now, right? Yeah, numbers are numbers, and the numbers don't lie, as we know. But how can you push out the season's consensus MVP from not being a starter in the Pro Bowl? I mean, they're probably doing it because if the Ravens do get the Super Bowl, then obviously he won't be there. Same with Purdy. Purdy's not starting for the NFC, is he?
No, Purdy is starter.
Oh, he is. In which case, I digress. But yeah, they're probably keeping Lamar there because he's been Super Bowl anyway. They can have Tua there instead.
So Sade has said, "I'm good, thank you. How are you? Except for I just got back from football in the freezing cold and rain."
Yeah, Sade, it's absolutely lashing down with rain. By the time I left school, it was started raining. I could just hear it outside the office window as I was getting ready for the show. So you, getting ready for the show. I was late. I heard it as soon as I came upstairs.
Sorry, this window got me. Bloody hell, the other half live.
Well, I have a house that has 3 bedrooms, and one of them is my office.
Jesus. I know, I'll find out soon.
You will. You might be sleeping on the floor, mate. Though, if you don't play your cards right.
If you don't pipe down.
Yeah, don't. Wind your neck in, mate. Wind your neck in. Yes. Sade's also a goalkeeper as well. She shares my kinship, so she isn't just running around in the rain. She is literally standing in the rain, waiting for a cold, hard football to hit her ridiculously hard. So I know what that's like, Sade. I start football again on Sunday. I'm going to absolutely enjoy standing in the cold and rain and wind. I digress.
I'll move on to the AFC defense. Defensive end, Miles Garrett, probably Defensive Player of the Year winner.
Yeah.
Phil's man crush, Max Crosby.
Max Crosby
and-
will win.
And Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
In terms of interior linemen, Chris Jones, who is an absolute guy. Quinnen Williams, also absolute tank. And then some Ravens guy called Justin Madabuke, who no one.
Just
really
about to be gay. 12 sacks in the year. Thank you very much.
And then outside linebackers, TJ Watt, probably from another DPOY, Khalil Mack, and one of Ollie's favourite players in the league, not me, OBH, Josh Allen from the Jags. Middle linebackers, Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen, both from the Baltimore Ravens. Cornerbacks, Sertan Jr., who's a player I really like from the Denver Broncos. Sauce Gardner, who in my opinion has not had a great year, so I don't know how he got in. Jalen Ramsey and Denzel Ward, both highly paid. Free safeties, we've got Justin Simmons, absolute guy. And we have Minka Fitzpatrick, who's always injured. And then strong safety is Kyle Hamilton, who is having an absolutely great season for the Baltimore Ravens in his sophomore year. For the special teams, the long snapper is Moss Mastic from the Jacksonville Jaguars. The punter is AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not sure about this kicker. Have you ever heard of him? His name's Justin Tuckerville.
No, I think he's some mid-level jobber. Like
Yeah,
he
that's
is.
what I heard.
Wait, is he about? Is our Shane either gone offline to go to the toilet, or do you think he's going to switch into his Justin? Oh no, he's wearing it.
Sorry, bro. I wasn't. Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, we were just saying, do you know who this Justin Tucker guy is?
Oh, yes, I know him very well. His seventh season as a Pro Bowler and probably the best kicker to ever do it. I had to have a JT jersey, and I'm so happy to say I've got one. These colour rush jerseys are absolutely stunning.
I mean, it's not quite 8 like you just check, is it?
As I said, these colour rush jerseys are absolutely stunning. There's only one thing prettier than these on the planet, and I'll give you one guess as to what that is.
I actually don't know.
Jose Flowers jersey.
I was going to say me, but, I digress.
So, the punt returner is Marvin Mims.
Yes.
And the special teamer is, his name is escaping me. Let me just get it.
I can tell you if you want.
It is, Miles Kilbrew from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Miles Kilbrew from the Steelers. Boys, did you notice something? There's a certain team that's been omitted from the Pro Bowl for the first time since 2000. Any idea who it is?
Brady. No.
You can't just say
By
Brady.
the way, just quickly, Cal Ellis has said #Go Ravens.
Yeah, good lad, good lad.
Who's this chap?
This chap is obviously one of my lot, much respect.
Sade is saying, yes, come on. My road is flooded.
I know, Sade, you live just around the corner from me, mate.
I don't know. Who is it? Shane.
Oh, do you know what? I've been promoting the pod everywhere I go. Anywhere, anyone who knows me for more than 30 seconds knows about the pod and knows about my boys. Not just these, but you as well. So, I just say, come on, chuck some comments in the comment section. Come and have an hour of your time. You give us an hour, we give you the world.
No, I mean, who's the guy that's been omitted from the Pro Bowl?
Oh, sorry, that's the team. What team is that? Give you a clue. They're very close to this podcast.
The Patriots.
Yes. For the first time since 2000. Absolutely insane.
I really wish Ollie was here because then I could taunt him about Tua starting and taunt him about the fact that the Patriots don't have anyone in the Pro Bowl.
I would say, yeah, but they're going to Super. No, they're not. Market, I expect supermarket.
Yeah, what I might do is I might buy Ollie a bowl, write Patriots on it as like a late Christmas present because that's the closest they're going to get to the bowl this year.
Oh, that's a funny one. I like that one.
I mean, I'm not sure if he's still watching. He was earlier because he sent us a message, didn't he?
Yeah. He's probably gone to sleep at that age.
Shall we quickly move on to snubs? So
yes, and then play of the week. Sorry, guys, you're cramming stuff into this hour this week.
Yeah. So I will say my snubs quickly, but I'm not going to give much explanation because I feel like they speak for themselves. But for the NFC, it is Detroit Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes,
I mean he's had nearly 1,400 yards receiving. And after about 9 TDs and 112 receptions. And for the AFC, I have Mr. Josh Allen. Yes, I know he's thrown 16 interceptions, but he's also thrown 27 touchdowns and nearly 4,000 yards. So he's having a pretty good season and has been behind the Bills' resurgence.
It's not a bad shout, but not a bad shout at all. I may even say, how about, right, maybe like this might be going a little bit off topic. How about they had like a rookie Pro Bowl one year?
Yeah. So
You know,
they do that.
like the likes of Josh Downs, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers. Who else? What's his name? That Pats player that got drafted. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Christian Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, yeah. It's funny you say
He's
that
good.
because in basketball they have what they call the Rising Stars game.
Okay.
It's first and second year players only.
I didn't know that.
But I just feel like the reason they don't do that with football is because it's so much more a physical game and the risk of injury is a lot higher. So making them play another game that's maybe not necessary is probably why they do that.
Won't do it. Fair enough. Just an idea, you know.
I'm just going to go into college for a second. I think it's sort of why a lot of the draft prospects don't play in the bowl games.
Yeah.
For example, Caleb Williamson played his bowl game. Who was it? The Tennessee quarterback. I should know that his name, but it's escaping me. Didn't play in his bowl game. I think it's the same thing. They feel like it's sort of an unnecessary risk when they're thinking about getting drafted. So have you guys got your snubs?
Mine was Ayuk. Genuinely. I know Travis Kelce's been picked because Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce, but I'm genuinely surprised that he has been selected considering his massively downpour of form this year. There was someone else, but it's completely escaped me. Like genuinely, did Source get picked?
Yeah, so Scott. Yeah.
So I don't remember his name being said, but yeah, just Kelce genuinely scratches my head. But have they picked name more so than actual brilliant this season? And yeah, Brandon Ayuk just really bothered me.
Yeah, Ayuk should have been picked.
Boys, there's no need to worry your precious little heads about Niners players getting picked for the Pro Bowl. They go to the Super Bowl anyway. It's fine.
Damn right we are.
You know, don't worry about it. And you're going to get smashed again in Super Bowl by us, but that's fine. Again, you know, it's what it is.
I do think that if we do play you again in the Super Bowl, I think it probably is 60-40 in your favor, but I think it'll be a lot closer and a very different game.
Yeah.
I wonder if they keep the lights on this time.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? If they don't have a power car halfway through.
So do we have to cover the plays of the week now, baby Hope? Or are we not doing it?
We're not doing plays of the week because we don't have the videos, but we are doing players and rookies. So I hope you guys can all remember who you picked.
Oh,
No, I do.
So my player of the week was the savior of the week for Niners and Dallas fans. That is Kyler Murray, who of course led the Cardinals to a 35-31 win against the Eagles. He passed for 232 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, but as Shane always says, nobody's perfect. Had a completion percentage of 80.6% and had a quarterback rating of 116.7.
That is incredible. Fair play. Mr. Perrins, do you want to do yours next, or shall I take the stage?
No, I'll do it because we all know we kind of argued on Monday, and we were actually quite fortunate that our leader did not see any of the games. Really, he took my word for it. Now, it might sound pretty daft considering who Shane is going to say for his. But a little bit of history took place in the 49ers Washington game that I think is a huge step forward. Others might just see it as, again, stat padding. But I picked Brock Purdy for legitimate reasons, more so than just me banging on the Brock Purdy is God kind of drum. Brock Purdy had a fantastic comeback game. His pass to Brandon Ayuk shows that he is an extender of plays more so than a system quarterback. When you said earlier about Sam Darnold and this theory that the 49ers offense is just plug and play. Well, Kyle Shanahan has had multiple quarterbacks in that system. He's gone from having, was it Brian Hoyer that we had?
Yes.
We
When
had
did
Brian
drop
Hoyer
off
to begin
the
with,
phones, yes.
CJ Beathard, Picnic, Garoppolo, Trey Lance, Brock
Briefly.
Purdy, and Taylor last year. Not everybody can play that playbook. It's not that straightforward. You have to have a little bit of football IQ. And Brock Purdy hasn't just joined a list of greats, but he is the number one on this list as well. Brock Purdy the weekend hit the most passing yards in 49ers franchise history. He took over Jeff Garcia's 4,278 record that he took from Steve Young 2 years prior.
Just hear me for a second. Isn't it by 1 yard?
Yes. But is he on? All right. The top 10. No, sorry, the top 5.
I'm
Jimmy
not trying
Garoppolo
to.
in 2019,
Here
Steve
we
Young in
go.
93, Steve Young in 98, Garcia in 2000, and yes, Brock Purdy beat Jeff Garcia by 1 yard. But you're talking there, those the 4 before him, Jeff Garcia, 49ers legend, should be in the Hall of Fame. Steve Young, Joe Montana's not in the top 5 list, and Joe Montana is Joe Montana.
Yeah, but Joe Montana also had a lot less games.
Yes, but at the same time, it's a 15-game season. Brock Purdy, and we talk about like the season being extended to 17 games now. Well, that's nonsensical because Brock Purdy has beaten this record in 16 games.
It's
He's done it
games.
the same way that other quarterbacks before him have done.
I'm not trying to knock him. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I think
You can
what
play,
he
but
says
like
is incredible.
this is where people go like, oh, blah, 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 Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
He's done it in 16 games. So did Young. So did Jeff Garcia. So did Garoppolo. Like this isn't some kind of like, oh, because we play next week. No, because he's not playing next week. And I think it's amazing because after years and years and years of searching, I've gone through the post Jeff Garcia years. You know, it didn't work out with Alex Smith. Didn't work out with Kaepernick. Didn't work out with Garoppolo. Didn't work out with Trey Lance. We now have a solid quarterback that is putting up the stats. And it's impressive.
So Purdy's your player of the week.
Purdy is my player of the week, and those are the reasons why.
I was just going to have a quick sidebar on your beloved Niners quarterbacks. Phil, I'm not sure if you're like me, but I love it when my passions collide. You know, anyone knows me knows I love my rock and metal music. So for argument's sake, if they use that in the NFL or on WWE, you know, I love that kind of thing. Any idea who your beloved Niners quarterback Jeff Garcia was married to and has 4 children with?
In terms of rock star?
Nope.
What, she's a wrestler?
She was.
Oh, was she in ECW?
She was not.
Was she in WCW?
Diva Search era.
Christy Hemme?
No. Do you remember Carmela Dissia?
I do! Oh my God!
There you go. I was on that. That's my late Christmas gift to you.
Jeff Garcia was balling on the pitch and he was
apparently off as well.
So Shane, who's your player of the week?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, let me introduce you to the 2023 NFL National Football League most valuable player, the number 8 quarterback for my beloved Baltimore Ravens, Mr. Lamar Jackson. He had an absolutely stunning game against the Dolphins on Sunday. He tore that brilliant defense apart. My apologies to friend of the show, my old buddy Andy Davis, but we kicked your ass. LJ went for 18 for 21, 321 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks, and a perfect passer rating. They are very hard to obtain. Bit of trivia for you as well. In that Ravens-Dolphins game, both Ravens quarterbacks had a perfect passer rating. Tyler Huntley came on when they took LJ off. 1 pass, 1 touchdown for 19 yards. Both had a perfect passer rating. As I said, you can't really... last week being what it was, you can't really look past Lamar Jackson for being this week's my pick for player of the week, and he was the AFC player of the week anyway.
I mean, welcome to the club. Purdy's had about five perfect passes.
Why Charlie asked me for him?
Start about this.
So if we move swiftly on to Rookie of the Week,
Who I took?
I don't know you, Brooke. I took
Oh.
CJ Stroud, who is he wasn't one of his best games. He threw for 213 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, but with a 75% completion rate, I thought it was good to pick him as Rookie of the Week. I know he seems to get picked every week, but now he's back. Hopefully I'd like to see the Texans make the playoffs, and they'll do that with a winner against the Colts, but we'll move on to that in the predictions next.
Who did you take, Phil?
I can't actually remember who I picked. You guys.
Tyreek Stevenson.
He's thinking who's that?
No, wait. I can't remember why.
Why? We are professionals. It's an issue with you.
Oh wait, yes. Sorry, I haven't got in. The Bears, DB. I think he's been quite an under the radar steal. I remember now because I've just got WhatsApp on the computer. I've just gone at why I picked him. He's gone very much under the radar this season. In terms of standout rookies, because we've had like the CJ Strouds and the Puka Nakuas of the world, but he is turning into quite a very talented lockdown defensive back, and I'm sure like if Hender was on the pod, he would talk about like the ethos of that position anyway. But when I watched the Bears highlights the weekend, he was bloody good. Like he was. The Bears were the best I've seen them in years anyway. And he was shut down. He did not allow anything down the field on his side of the play. So he's mine. He's mine of the week.
So Shane, you didn't actually pick one. So do you want to go on the fly? I think Shane's frozen. So we'll just.
No, he's just thinking.
Should we move on to the predictions where we actually have a new leader? Shane has overtaken OBH on 46. OBH is on 45. I'm on 41. And Phil, you're on 39.
Wait, what? I'm on 45?
No, you're on 46. You've overtaken OBH.
Yes, to the top of the league, baby.
I mean, there's still a long way to go because we predict every playoff game.
We do. Like I said, I'd like to thank everyone for staying late with us this evening.
But the games that we have this week is Texans, Colts, Bears, Packers, Falcons, Saints, Bills, Dolphins. Shall we start with Texans, Colts? I think I know who you two are going to pick.
Oh, brother, you know us too well. As we always say on the show, Mr. P, when you're NWO, you're NWO for
life. Thank you.
So you're ride or die with Minshew Mania for the win.
He's going to ride into the playoffs for a playoff berth and then ultimately crash. But we're going to be a part of that ride, man. Sometimes it's not about the destination. It's how you get thrown out of the car when it hits something. That's what
That's the kind of thing he'd say as well. Does that sound like the kind of thing he'd say?
Oh my God, it's rubbing off on me.
He's rubbing off on me, you wish.
Oh, hush, it's PG show, mate. I might start actually. I might start the old mustache going.
Grow mustache. I can't. Cause it looks like eyebrows. It only grow on the sides. It can't grow in the middle.
That's very true. I mean, your hair is upside down anyway.
Oh, all right. He's taking a couple of jabs tonight, so finally firing back at last.
I can't help that I have the best head of hair out of all of you.
You do. He was in grey, unlike OBH's. He's going to kill me.
I know, mine's not. Well, I'm younger than you as well, mate. So it's like, let's not say that.
Not much in there. Not much in your mind. Yeah, but you can't look this good for 38. Can you? Let's be fair.
I heard you diet. I heard you diet.
Who told you that?
By what?
I just heard that you diet.
By who? You live in the middle of nowhere. Who tells you that I dye my hair?
Carry a pigeon. Carry a pigeon.
I'm joking.
I was gonna say, mate, this is like deep black. Like this is
no comment.
Like
no comment. Not gonna involved.
Black. You know what I'm saying?
I trust you. Phil, I know the colour of your hair. We have met.
I was gonna say we have multiple times now. And you see me twice a week, and you talk to me every day.
Yeah. And just in case you guys hadn't noticed, I am taking the Texans.
Why? Why? Why are you fighting this?
So simple. CJ Stroud, D'Amico Ryans, and better team. Moving on to Bears Packers.
You know I'm a big fan. Yeah, you know I'm a big fan of Justin Fields, right? I think Justin Fields is class, and I think in a good team he would be amazing. He would be Lamar Jackson 2.0, but I don't think he's got enough weapons around him, and the Packers have an annoying habit of pulling off wins against teams like this. So yeah, I got to go for Green Bay.
So Butler Henson has come in saying, "I've got more grace since meeting you guys."
When's his birthday? I might buy him a subscription to Just for Men. Like
Oh,
genuinely.
don't be mean,
Uh,
Jesus!
So I'm
He's an attractive
taking.
man.
He is an
I'm
attractive
taking-
man.
I'm taking the Packers because the Packers need it, and the Bears have nothing to play for. So I feel like
And
the Packers.
yeah, that's the
So the
professional's choice.
The Packers can still make the playoffs and probably will with a win, but the Bears have nothing to play for and probably a better draft pick. So I think Packers.
Yeah,
Dubbers.
yeah.
You're going Bears, are you?
Dubbers. Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I hate
Sure.
Green Bay. Like I hate them so much.
I don't hate Green Bay. I just hate Green Bay's fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I hate them.
Go Pack, go.
You can get mauled
right?
by the Chiefs are going to get mauled by the Bears, mate. Like,
Shall we move on to the Falcons Saints? Both
Oh
these
my
teams
God.
are still alive in the NFC dumpster fire.
Oh my god.
Tank
division.
Yes. Mr. Perrins, who are you taking in this one?
I'm gonna go with Derek Carr and his eyeliner. I'm gonna pick the
Shane?
same.
I got to side with my old buddy
emo
Mr.
than
P
me,
on this
like,
one,
genuinely. Derek Carr is
I
more
know-
emo than me. Sorry.
and that takes a and that takes a lot. Yeah, so I agree with my old buddy Mr. P. I genuinely think I'm a big fan of Chris Olave. I think he's a really, really class into his second year now, and I'm also a fan of Bijan Robinson. But I like Olave just that much more. Other than that, it's a coin flip, so I'm going for the Saints.
I'm going to make it unanimous and go for the Saints and think this is the last nail in Arthur Smith's coffin and he will be gone on Monday.
So baby hope if we all vote for the same team on the pick'ems, you know exactly what happens next.
Yes. So Ollie's gone Texan Packers. He's gone Falcons, so he's broken the unanimous and he's gone Bills. So the final game is the Bills at the Dolphins. Bills need to win to make sure they get the playoffs. Dolphins need to win to ensure they win the division. I'm gonna go
The
last
stakes
on
could
this
not
one.
be higher.
I'm going to go last on this one because I've got some stats. Well, not stats, but things to say. So Shane,
Okay.
where are you going in this one?
I was gonna say it's like a midget at a dinner table. The stakes could not be higher, right? You've got the fact that, as you've just said, tumbleweeds, nothing. Thank you. That was gold, by the way. Yeah, I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I'm going for the Bills because Dolphins didn't show me much against us on Sunday.
Pepsi Phil?
I'm gonna go with the Dudley Bills. Purely
The what?
because of the Dudley Bills. The
Oh,
Dudley
the
Bills.
those are the Dudley Bills. I was thinking, what?
Because of the tables. Do you see where I'm going with that? Like, we talked earlier about combining our loves. The Dudley Bills. And I'm just gonna say this. I caught the Pat McCaffrey show earlier, and I was going through
Pat McAfee.
McAfee. He's commentated on SmackDown. You still can't say his name properly.
I know, and I've watched him at WrestleMania, and I've watched him compete at WrestleMania. I've also paid to see him when he wrestled in NXT, but that's a different story. Going back onto that, I heard or told that the Bills fans will outnumber the Dolphins fans in Miami this weekend. The Mafia are traveling, and they're traveling large. One thing I do love about the Mafia is that they're loud, they're proud, and they do dumb stuff when provoked. And I mean, like, backyard wrestling dumb stuff. There was one video that I saw on Twitter where a Bills
I said
fan...
it to you.
You did, yeah, that was you. Bills fan set a table on fire and then went through it, and then himself was then on fire. They do dumb stuff. And I just think, and I've mentioned this lots of times before, I'm a momentum guy. And when you see the momentum coming, and I know Baby's rolling his eyes because he wants me to get to my point, but that's just how I commentate on things. The Dolphins are coming off a loss. The Bills are coming off, a really, really positive showing. I think the Bills have the advantage because the Dolphins are playing to secure. The Bills are playing to take, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I just think that brings a different mentality. I love Tua, but I love Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's let me down more often than not when I've really put him on a pedestal. I just think that the Bills will edge it just. I'm going to go Bills.
I wasn't rolling my eyes because I wanted you to get to your point. I was rolling my eyes because you're wrong.
Fine.
Whoa, okay.
The Miami Dolphins are going to take this, and I'll tell you why. The Bills have been very vocal about how they don't like going to Miami. They've said it many times every year.
Yeah, the crime rate's high.
They don't like playing in Miami. I'm not sure. Do you guys know about the way the Miami's Dolphin Stadium is built?
No.
Go on.
So the way the Miami Dolphin Stadium is built is so that the away sideline is in the sun and the home sideline is in the shade. So it can get up to 20 degrees Fahrenheit higher on the away sideline than the home sideline.
That's amazing.
So the highest it's ever got on the away sideline is 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The Bills are used to playing in the cold.
Yeah.
And also, the Dolphins have only lost one at home this season. So I'm going Miami to eliminate the Bills from the playoffs. And Shane really doesn't like that, clearly, as he has left.
I think he's having a few internet problems anyway, but yeah, I didn't know that stat in particular. I didn't actually know about the construction or like the format of the Dolphin Stadium. I'm still gonna stick with the Bills purely because I think they're playing to take, and they need to take. They're going to get a playoff berth. They're kind of hit and miss in the playoffs anyway. The Dolphins haven't been overly fantastic. Bills are playing well, Dolphins are not. Finns are having a lot of off-field issues. Hills house fire, Waddle injured, Mostar hasn't practiced this week. Yeah, I'm with Hendo on this. I also heard, because it got released, about what happened with Tyreek Hill. It was a child was playing with a Zippo
I told you this earlier on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. Well, when I say told, I don't mean like. Do you know how many things I get told on a daily basis? I forget who tell me.
Do you know what? I'm not going to hold this one against you. It's your first day back. You've had a hard day, and yeah.
I have, man. Like I have. It's just been long. It's like information overload. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think there's a lot of off-field issues, and as we know in the NFL, off-field issues have effects on teams. Like they do. It can be from one player. We've seen. What was this? Oh, there was a story that I read this week about an NFL player. And he used to kick off. That was it. Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens used to be a massive diva. And when he was in Philadelphia, they lost a game, and he kicked off in the lockers after the game. He had to be calmed down. I think it was when McNabb was their quarterback. Yeah, I think it was when McNabb was their quarterback, and he properly kicked off. It rubbed the team up the wrong way, and the Eagles went on a bit of a losing streak afterwards. And I just thought that's impact of one player. Imagine like a group of players we saw like a couple of years ago with Urban Meyer, and how that literally decimated a Jaguars team. We've seen the off the field issues that happened in the Raiders building this year and last year as well. How like one or two people's can potentially derail a season. So I knowing that coming to the forefront, I think the Bills have more of a harmonious locker room. That's saying oh God, what's his name? The linebacker play for the Rams and Broncos. Von Miller. He's had his off the field issues this year as well with allegations. So I guess, but yeah, I'm doubling down Bills. I know I'm waffling tonight, gents, but that's what you pay for.
So let's quickly look at the Week 18 games before we put these people out their misery who have been here with us for 80 minutes.
Which I appreciate.
So are there any games? There's a lot of games where people are playing their reserves, but are there any games that stand out to you, Phil? The one that I like to look of is actually Browns-Bengals, because the Browns are playing their 5th starting quarterback of the year, and it's going to be against Jake Browning. And I just feel like it might be a decent game to watch.
I know. Like, is Flacco out? Is that what we're saying?
They're resting him for the playoffs.
Oh,
At,
yeah,
thir-
absolutely.
at 38, he needs a lot of rest, apparently. He's the same age as me. They were calling him Grandpa. What are you calling him Grandpa for? He's the same age as me.
Couple of things about Flacco is
Go on.
and you guys, no, I'm not being even negative. Do you not think that this season he has been the most exciting quarterback? Purely because
The story
of his
story.
age coming in, but also like he's throwing dimes and then he's throwing interceptions. Like he's so fascinating because like you watch him drop back in the pocket. He's looking downfield and you go like, this is either going to be an insane pass or it's a pick six waiting to happen. Like, and I find that really, really fascinating about Joe Flacco. Also, interesting fact for anybody that wants to know this. Joe Flacco has thrown more touchdowns than Patrick Mahomes. So, i.e., Joe Flacco is the best quarterback.
He's thrown more touchdowns than a lot of NFL teams combined this year.
Just saying, Joe Flacco has thrown more touchdown passes than Stat Padford. He's a better quarterback than Stat Padford.
So the next time I say something, you damn sure better believe it. Joe Cool is Joe Cool.
Do you know what I saw today, which is actually sort of an opposite of what you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Philadelphia Eagles defense has allowed more passing touchdowns than any quarterback has scored this season.
Because the Eagles
That just blows your mind, that does. Wow, that blows your mind.
The Eagles have been so fraudulent this year. I love it.
Sade said his next game on Saturday. Yes,
It's on
Sade.
Sunday,
Yes.
lovely.
Can I?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yes, Shane, take it away.
Yes, Sade. The next NFL game is Saturday night. It is 9:30 p.m. It is my beloved Baltimore Ravens against our hated rivals from the Steel City, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you're looking for an exciting game, don't watch that one. Wait till Sunday.
Can we just touch upon the fact that
You mean the Ravens reserves against the Steelers?
That's what I mean. Don't watch it. Don't watch. It's not going to be an exciting game. Wait till Sunday.
Can we just pick up a little bit of tidbit of information that dropped a couple of days ago about Pickett?
Go on. Oh yeah.
That he was refusing to suit up to be second string this weekend.
I saw that they said they were going to start Mason Rudolph even though Pickett was healthy, but I didn't see that.
Yeah. He apparently again just NFL sources, but like when it's Schefter that reports that, I kind of like do more often than not believe her. That he was refusing or resistant to being second string behind Mason Rudolph this weekend.
I thought they were just playing Rudolph for like Christmas clouds. I thought they were
But you have to. I think their offense has looked better with Mason Rudolph in the last couple of weeks.
I do agree with that.
So, and then we said in our whoever was in charge of the Twitter handle that day said about, is this controversial? Like, is this going to spark controversy about like Kenny Pickett? And I went, well, it would start controversy if Pickett was any good to begin with. You take away the fact that he's a hometown boy. Pickett is not that great. He's one of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL that shouldn't be a starting quarterback.
His perfect preseason, though. Everyone was raving about his perfect preseason.
Can I just bring back?
Preseason doesn't matter.
Yeah. As we said before, and I love that Hopi's just brought this to our attention, but please cast your memories back to what I said about preseason means very little. The Detroit Lions many, many years ago went 4-0 in the preseason. Wow, that's amazing. They went 0-16 in the regular season. So that means absolutely nothing. Okay.
I could think of a team that went 5 years undefeated in the preseason up until fairly recently.
Yeah, and how many Super Bowls did they win in that time?
How many did you get to?
How many playoff? How many home playoff wins did they get to? Did they win?
Oh, no, he's right. The playoffs. Sorry, the preseason doesn't mean anything at all. He's completely right. It's just a chance for people to get the rust off and try new players and try new plays. That's what it is.
So before we sign off, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
Oh well. Now might be the time for me to get two interesting pieces of business off my chest as usual. We're still sponsored by our friends over at First Down Sports Apparel. As I said, you can get any sorts of American sports merchandise, NFL, NHL, MLB, whatever you like. They're good. They're a good bunch of guys. I'm a testimony. I bought a shirt from them. It's lovely. I love it. And if you come in contact with us, you can get a 10% discount code. Tell them the boys from Thurn Long have sent you. And of course, you know me. I get the places. You see my.
He gets about, ladies and gents, and that's where we'll bring that one to a close. I've got nothing particularly groundbreaking to say. I'll talk later on in the season about the merger between the XFL and the USFL. I know it's everyone's favorite topic to talk about, but it's spring ball, and that's just an extra thing that we can bring back. You missed out, mate. You said what was the line again? That
I get around, or I get about.
I get around, and then you froze.
I do get about.
There we go. So we've got the USFXL to talk about. We'll talk about that. There was a whole thing on the Pat McAfee show where him and his business partner and ex-wife, Danny Garcia, did a nice little presentation about it. They've already announced who the head coaches are going to be and what teams are going to be around as well. So that was the other tidbit of news. But I know we're going to say our goodbyes in a wee bit, but I just want to say thank you ever so much to everybody that listened to us in 2023, from our coverage in the playoffs of the Super Bowl to us rambling in the off season, to joining us throughout the regular season this year.
Just said, I'll be back on Monday to bring back some order.
Yeah, well, we like sometimes when Daddy isn't on the pod, because it means the kids get to do whatever we want. We can have ice cream.
Can we not say Daddy, please, Mr. P?
Daddy's home. I'm the Randy Orton of this show, mate. Daddy's home.
Boys, I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi dropped out. Let me quickly say before we go, and I'll shut my mouth, and I'll be the end of that, right? So I'm also going to be appearing on the NFL Around the UK podcast fairly soon. So as soon as I do, I'll mention it on the pod, and we can get some more listeners, some more, perhaps people to come over and see us, and then we can get our audience to go over and see them.
Yay!
So we'll be back on Monday, where we will be covering Black Monday. News will probably be dropping as we're recording, or as it usually is, about 10 minutes after we finish recording. This, Phil?
No, ignore me. We can talk about it off air.
So this will be on Spotify, hopefully tomorrow morning at 8:30, as per usual, if I can figure it out. And I think I'll just take Ollie's line to end it off with this week with stay safe.